I'm done with this little project. My little carry gun. You know, the problem I was having, I like old Smith & Wessons, but I feel guilty carrying them every day. You know, wearing them out. In my old Model 37, it was getting some surface rust, and so even though I'm more passionate about those older guns, I like carrying them more. I feel guilty carrying them, you know what I mean? So I guess you can't win. I don't like this gun as much, but I like that I can beat it up. So anyway, I wanted to try and make it the stock Airweight, so I liked it a little bit more. You know, have a little bit more passion about it. By removing the key lock, I polished, you know, the crane and extractor rod, everything. Polished the cylinder. Put these grips on it. Altamont grips. It's like a croc back, like a crocodile pattern of some sort. They fit okay. Yeah, they're acceptable. This side's got some gap in between the grip and the frame. This side fits real nice. But the back strap, they fit nice. There's a little of a gap right here. So they're not perfect, but for what this gun was for, it's going to be my carry gun, you know, sweat on it, and I made sure I got one that shot dead straight. This one shoots dead straight. If it didn't, I would have sold it. I mean, it's a 6 o'clock hold, like just below the target at the range, and boom, right in the middle, man, dead center, and it shoots good. So that makes it qualifying. Oh, I polished the screws too. Polished these screws. I didn't go overboard with the polishing, you know what I mean? Like do a mirror finish. And depending on the lighting, this will look a little bit shinier. There's definitely contrast there. There was like no contrast before. And I polished the screw on the cylinder release. It looks pretty cool. It definitely gives some contrast. This lighting is making it look a little dull. But these grips, they're solid. You know, the pin that comes out of the frame, they go in there, and then there's 2 more pins. The screw should probably be more in the center, like up here, because like right up in here, there's just a little bit of a gap. But I mean, just use common sense. It's pinching at the bottom, and you know, it should pinch more. It should be like maybe like right here, because it's pinching it here, and then there's a little bit of a gap right there. But they're very solid, and they definitely fit the bill. They could fit a little bit better, though, that's for sure. But they look cool, and like I said, it's a beater gun, and as you can see, it is loaded, because it's my carry gun. Yeah, I got theory. Guns should always be loaded, and you should handle them as if they're loaded. I see a lot of people, you know, they're dry firing and doing all these things. It's like, man, dude, you know, they're too comfortable with their gun being unloaded, and all of a sudden when it is loaded, they're gonna forget. Whereas if you keep it loaded all the time, you don't forget it's loaded. So there's different thoughts on that, but you know, I keep my gun loaded, and if I was gonna do dry firing or whatever, you're gonna sit down and unload it and be very aware of that. But anyway, this came out pretty good, man. I think it looks pretty sharp. It's got all the stuff I don't like about it, but it's, you know, it's lightweight. It's got the MIM parts, the MIM trigger, the MIM hammer. But it's definitely a more modern gun. It's lightweight, and it's just going to be my little beater carry gun. And oh, this camera's not focusing, man. What the heck? So it turned out pretty nice, man. You know, they get the Performance Center guns, and they're so expensive, and yeah, I don't know if the quality is that much better than these. So I figured I'd take something for under 500 bucks and, you know, make it just as nice, you know. At least for a J-frame. J-frame is pretty proven, man. There's the one, it's all titanium cylinder, and it's got 8 rounds and a short barrel, but you know, what are you going to do when you start having problems with that? And then holsters, and then again, it's like 20 ounces, but then you put 8 rounds of .357 Magnum in there. Now you're looking at basically a full-size gun. I mean, that's a heavy gun. Of course, the firepower is awesome, you know what I mean? But for a little carry gun, get yourself some snappy rounds and make sure you can shoot straight. And you're definitely not unarmed with this, that's for sure. And I don't like the Ruger, like the LCR. I don't know that plastic with the read instruction manual. Man, I can't deal with that, man. And then they got the rubber handles. I mean, that's no good, man. Your clothes, you know, your shirt's gonna be getting caught. This is nice and smooth. So I don't know what's with that rubber grip garbage, man. I don't like that at all. So this fits the bill for me, man. It's a little beater gun, pimped out a little bit. So that's what I'm gonna be carrying. We'll see what happens. I do like there's a MP360 with the titanium cylinder. If I could get something like that, titanium cylinder with hammer forged, case hardened hammer and trigger, or maybe like the flash chrome without the MIM parts. We'll see what I come across. I might even try to find like a slightly older Airweight. But then again, you know, you're in the same problem, man, you know. The older ones, maybe if it's not aluminum and they're heavier, and then you feel guilty about, you know, sweating on it and all that. So that's just a little beater thing, man. A little beater gun. So yeah, I think it came out pretty good. Pretty cool. Alright, catch you later.